Good evening. Right, it's early evening tonight. Not for me going to bed or like that. I'm going to just a quick catch up for the day. Yes. Keep looking at that, but I don't know. I should block that really. But anyway, right. I'll give you a clue. First one tonight. Hello there, Mickey. Yes, it's good news for you if you live in California. Disneyland has opened. It's been closed because of COVID, and they've probably been doing some repairs and everything. Anyway, it's open again for people. Bad news if you don't live in California. It's only open. It's only operating at 25%. Opened yesterday, I think it was. It's only operating at 25% at the moment, and you have to be a resident of California to go and visit it at the moment. That's to make sure they can catch up. And the queues weren't too horrendous, but it was brisk. So it's good news because it is open again. So I'm sure they'll get up to speed. Also sticking on Disneyland, Disney World, which is in Miami, they've had their claws taken away from them. They were like, when it was built, it was swamp. Yeah, and the first time they built it, it fell into the swamp. But then they built it again. And if you know what I'm on about there, you'll have a chuckle about that one. Right, so they built it. So they built Disney World, and because it was so vast a project as well, they were given special dispensation, I think it's called. So they have their own police and their own fire. They even have their own money. You buy Disney dollars, but everything was self perpetuating, self-serving for Disney in there. So they control everything, and it's worked till now. So anyway, but the people in charge that don't work for Disney have decided that that's wrong. Although it's like a little island on its own sort of thing, everything was going swimmingly. They decided that's not right, and they want to get in there and try to grab. Oh, it's about dollars. They're going to try to grab for dollars. You know that, and I think it's disgusting. But the old saying, if it isn't broken, don't fix it. But anyway, they brought out this law that says that they've got to be amalgamated into and all run by them. Well, heaven help them at that point, because now you're going to have to pay. I think they had a deal with the police and everything, but they're going to have to deal with the hospital, everything like that. They're going to have to start paying that, the government. So I don't know how it's going to all work. Whether they've all worked a deal out, I don't know. But it just seems to be that, if it was working okay, no problems, so why muck about with it? I know it's not to do with me being in this country. Right, but there you go, another bit of information. In China, I've been keeping up to date that in Shanghai, they've been having problems with the COVID, and they've been like locking them into the buildings, starving them. Apparently it's spreading. Surprise, surprise. The rest of the world is living with it. So I'm not going to fault anyone's way of how they want to deal with anything. But it seems, everyone else is living with it, and but they've decided they're still going to go for their, like they've said a statement today, if they don't carry on with this, it seems a big waste. I can understand certain ways and certain manners, but on the other point, it can cause internal troubles. So, and we didn't, in China, you don't have internal troubles. If you do wrong, you're in trouble. That's the way they work. But they think it may be spreading to the capital. So we're going to have to wait and see what they do with that one as well. So, but I'm sure we'll find out. Things get out in the end anyway. Right. Other news that yes, it's all at the panic stations, right? Ready deploying another 8,000 troops. At the rate we're going, we'll only have chefs and cooks over here left, the defenders. They're sending another 8,000 out for these pre-arranged things to go all over the place, which I find is bizarre, to be quite honest. We haven't got a huge army. There's 30 odd nations out there. I don't have a problem going a certain amount. I mean, it's like if you go to Latvia. Oh, sorry, no, Estonia it is. Estonia. I actually do know people in Estonia, and I once asked them about this question about the relationship between Estonia and Russia. And they said, well, actually, one of the girls I was speaking to, she actually is, her mother is Russian. And she was said that the majority of the population are Russian. They class themselves as Estonian, but they're Russian descent. You know, so it's an open border. It's like turning around and saying, oh, well, we're gonna put a border across from England to Scotland. But then people are going to go, hold on, my grandparents are Scottish. So does that mean that I'm half Scottish? I can go halfway over the border? You know, do I dislike them more because they were born the other side? It's very crazy. You know, I keep saying about this, you don't own the land. So, you know, I mean, all these people, it's not really about land, is it? It's about money. That's what it's about. That's what everything's always about, money and greed. So, dear me. Oh. Anyway, regardless of that, they're sending more deployments out, so not for us to. I think he's getting in quick before he loses in May. So get everything out. Oh, get him out of the country and make me look big. No, you're not, Boris. Sorry, mate. Right. Also, while we're on the same subject of the overseas clash at the moment, I've literally today. I spoke a couple of days ago about the people in dinghies who keep trying to get from France to England the fastest, or getting lost and ending up on our beaches. Well, they were told that they were going to be shipped off to Rwanda, and it stopped it dead. Literally, nobody wanted to come. Anyway, today, that's after X amount of days, I think it's a week and a half or something like that, of not coming. 200 have decided to come because they've said they're not deporting people. They're not sending them out there. It's not a deportation. Off-site, so they can structure you, so they can keep a hold and know exactly where you are instead of just blending in. You won't blend in, right? So that's what it's about. It annoys me because somebody's come up with an idea and somebody slated it and they haven't even tried it. Well, I'll tell you what, as far as I'm concerned, with normal, typical working man, get them on a plane, fly them out there. If it's going to stop them coming across, then you can't complain when women and children drown in the sea because they're trying to come across by boat. So, you can't win every time. Get them over there, then those women and children can go there. They're not going to be sent anyway, it's going to be young fellas. But the women and children can come here, they can apply for asylum, they can be integrated into society. Otherwise, leave it as it is, and we'll have another disaster, and we'll have another 200 people drown in there, and then somebody else will come up with another idea, and they'll say, no, that's rubbish as well. Yeah, stop messing around, stop wasting money. You've said you're going to do it. Yeah, and then you had a very posh man from Amnesty International. You're probably going to roast me for this, but I'm telling you now, right? If you're going to sit there in your library with your thousands of pounds worth of books behind you, lording it up, telling everybody else what you should do and what you shouldn't do, first of all, you shouldn't have sat in that environment. You should have been sat in a van giving food out, something like that. Not sat in a very big house. You can tell that with a massive library behind you. That's not on as well. Yeah, we all know that you charity people are getting absolute fortunes sent to you. Yeah. If you don't believe me, go and check on it. You'll find the COs are on like 2 or 3 days a week, and they're fetching £250,000 plus for 2 or 3 days a week. Sign a bit of paper, that's it. You haven't done anything. Someone was saying today it's the first time they've seen some aid workers in Ukraine. First time they've seen a UN vehicle this week since it all started. Right, but this guy came on and he was saying it's about the underlying conditions. The underlying conditions of this. It says that you're to go from the war area to the first safe haven, which is the country next door that isn't at war, and then you can apply for whatever it is to live there, and then you can apply for other countries. That's fair enough. So unfortunately, Mr. Farage, nice one, Nigel. I'm not knocking you, mate. Thank you very much. Actually gave us a picture last week of some guy on a dinghy. And the week before, he was actually working down in a ski chalet, and he is right. They're all arriving with brand new phones, brand new shoes, and everything like that. I haven't got either of them. So, and I've been all here a lot longer. In fact, all my life. So from that side of it, if you can afford those, and you can afford to pay £2,000 for this man to smuggle you over by boat on a ferry, it's not going to cost you £2,000 unless you're travelling B&O. But on a ferry, you can get across for maybe a couple £100 if you're a foot passenger. So to me, it means you've got something to hide. So unfortunately, there is going to be a percentage, no matter how small that percentage is, and it's already proved with the murder of the MP that there are bad people coming across as well. And if you have to stop 100,000 people to prevent one person from coming over here who's a bad person, I still think it's worth it. So, because then you're securing the place for 58 million of us, or 68 million of us, I think it is now. So from that side, yeah, get on with it. Just, they said last week that they passed the law through. I know I'm ranting. I'm sorry about this, but I've got to I'm putting my point across as a working class man. They made a law last week saying that if you came across here, if you were a people smuggler, you could face life imprisonment. And then they said if you come across intentionally, like they are doing in the boat, you will go to jail. So the 200 came today. Where are they? Have they gone to jail? Because technically they have to, because that's what you say the law has been passed for. But I doubt it very much. The only person we believe at the moment is the Welsh fellow who got sacked for watching porn. And he actually was truthful. So that is the first time that we've seen anyone being truthful from the MPs for the last about 3 years. So from that side, the MPs and the government have to win our respect back, because you've got zero respect at the moment. All right. I started off quite cheery and then it ended up having a right power rant about that. But it's just, I believe in if you're going to say it, do it. If it's right, it's right. Yeah. Not just twist and change things as like the wind, right. On that note, heavy note for you. That's about all the news there is at the moment. I have promised you that I'm going to do I'm going to start once a week doing topics. So I'm going to find some topics. We did the other week about false lips and Botox and all this lot. We did that. So we're going to be going this week, I think, on romance. Not dating, but has romance ended? As it finished, because there's a lot of misconceptions, but we'll get into that when we started. So right now, I bored you to death with this one. You probably switched off after the first 2 minutes, to be quite honest. You were like, oh no, not him again, boring old fart. Right, so have a nice night, and I'll catch you next time, both of you.